Hello, this is Peter Adams again. And as you know, the heart of the Alpin project is what we're calling events. Every week, three of us will present some kind of an event on the website. It might be a video or an article we've written or an article we've read and our thinking about it and so forth. And then that event will remain live for a week, and we hope our colleagues will find it stimulating and will come in and join the conversation about it. So here in late August, I'm trying to think of what I might be able to tell people that they might find helpful, especially people who haven't participated in this process before. And so please bear in mind this video is being made before we've even started the Alpin project, and we may have a much better sense of what makes a good event in a few weeks when we've gotten going on this project. And some of us have produced events that maybe aren't so successful. We'll know what works and what doesn't. But at any rate, in a sort of tentative way, in the rest of this video, I'm going to talk about what makes a good event. Having a little trouble getting it. There it is. So, first of all, I think it's important to realize that what the goals of these events are. And the first is to encourage a vigorous conversation. I think that's probably the most important. We're trying to make this website be a place that people actually enjoy checking in with. And my experience is when you get a bunch of English teachers together, they like to talk about their profession. They like to talk about what they've done that's worked or what they've found frustrating or what's not been successful. They like to ask each other for advice. They like to compare notes. Sometimes they even like to grouse a little bit about students. And maybe not the grousing part, but all of the rest of that ought to be really good fodder for these events. So the first goal is to provide a place for a conversation that the faculty will find useful and particularly that they will find enjoyable. Secondly, I think these events should address issues that are related to teaching in an ALP classroom. I think it's important that we restrict them to that. There are lots of other events. I think most of you know I'm very concerned about the fact that teaching developmental writing is becoming more and more solely the responsibility of community colleges and not four-year schools. And I'm not so sure that's a good idea, and I'm very concerned about it. But I don't think that would make a good event for the Alpin website because it doesn't directly relate to teaching in the ALP classroom. So I think these events should all be focused on issues related to teaching. And finally, these events should produce something useful. When the week is over, we'll archive each of these events on another page called Not So Current Events, and they'll be there for faculty over the coming years to peruse and try to find ideas or materials or discussions that they would find useful as they begin teaching ALP. So with those goals in mind, here's some ideas I have as of now that may help you and me to produce effective events. One, I think we want a topic that's original, that will arouse interest, either because it's useful, or maybe it's controversial, or it's original or creative in some way. Secondly, the presentation, whether you do it by video or document or some combination thereof, PowerPoint, it should demonstrate that you've given considerable thought to the topic, not just something off the top of your head, but something you've really worked on. And this is your time to sort of show off to your colleagues something that you think and feel is important about effective teaching in the ALP classroom. And then if it's appropriate, it may not be, but if it's appropriate, I think it's a good idea to include what did David Bartholomew or Mike Rose or Glenda Hull or Andrea Lunsford have to say about this topic. And it may be that you even want to include some references to a few articles. Maybe not. You don't have to do that, but it might, in some of these topics, I think it'll be appropriate. And finally, during the week, that you really work hard to make the discussion lively, to encourage people to participate, to answer their questions, to clarify things they seem to have misunderstood, and even occasionally to email people who aren't participating and urge them to join the group. So that's the idea. That's my ideas in late August about what might make a good, effective ALP Alpin event.